I speak for everybody when I say I am sick and tired of the Chipotle portion sizes, and it needs to change. So I've been plotting and scheming, and I have a master plan. We're doing something about this right now. You remember peak Chipotle. You know how they used to load those bowls up. They would give you enough food to feed a small village. And now I'll walk into Chipotle. I'll get 3 grains of rice and a piece of chicken if I'm lucky. I can't do it anymore. For just $14.99, you can get SpongeBob's Friends in a bowl. I'm done.
Chipotle wants to try and deny that shrinkflation has finally hit the internet's favorite burrito bowl establishment. But people aren't having it. They're not buying it. And they're fighting back, as the gentleman you just heard from is doing. Now, over the past few weeks, several people have flooded the internet with claims that Chipotle has started getting stingy with its servings, and that includes, the burrito sizes. Look, to be fair, those burritos were too big. They were too big, right? Like, I don't think anyone should eat that much burrito in one sitting.
I mean, look, you probably don't. You probably cut it into 2 or something. I would be perfectly happy to make it smaller and cheaper.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't want just less food, but yeah, they were pretty beefy.
Now, that also includes the amount of chips that you'll get with your order. They've minimized that, and also the amount of meat included in their burrito bowls. So Chipotle adamantly denies that they are implementing shrinkflation, but again, like, if you are a fan of Chipotle and you're eating there all the time and suddenly you notice a difference in the portion, the executives at Chipotle telling you that they're not shrinking sizes is not going to be a persuasive argument. But let's go to Chipotle's Chief Corporate Affairs Officer. Her name is Lori Shalo, and she says that there have been no changes in our portion sizes, and we have reinforced proper portioning with our employees. If we did not deliver on our value, we want our guests to reach out so we can make it right. And remember, Chipotle is a chain, and so it's franchised, and you might see some differences from one Chipotle restaurant to another. Keep that in mind. Our intentions are to provide a great experience every time, and our meals have always been completely customized. All right, I'm done reading that. We get it. Chipotle is great. Like, that was an ad, and I'm not gonna read that out. The reaction to that statement, by the way, wasn't a happy one. So Chipotle tried a different tactic and deployed their CEO, Brian Niccol, to basically carry this out. Let's watch.
First, I can tell you the portions have not gotten smaller. One of the things I think it's great about Chipotle is if you come into the restaurant and you want a little more rice or you want a little more pico, all you gotta do is kind of like, and usually our guys and women give them a little more scoop. We always want to give people big portions that get them excited about the food. It's kind of who we are. I mean, these are big burritos, these are big bowls. Our goal is to give people great experiences. Now, if you want double the amount of meat, you got to pay for it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pester the workers to give me more food. Like, why are you putting the onus on the customers to do that?
All you have to do is, that's how I request more food everywhere I go.
Look, Panda Express really grinds my gears, because like, sometimes don't be mad at me, Kate. Sometimes I want an orange chicken bowl. Okay.
Why wouldn't Kate be mad at you?
No, because Kate's like one of my favorite people on the planet. She's the head producer on the main show, and she's vegan. So every time I talk about eating meat, I feel like I'm disappointing her. I'm
sure she's okay.
No, she is. She never judges me for it. But like, I actually haven't had Panda Express in a long time, but the last time I had gone there, they're like counting the pieces of chicken, and I'm just like, yeah, is it coming out of your paycheck? Like, what's going on? But I can't do it.
In trouble.
I can't, I'm not gonna pester the workers, so I pay the extra money for a decent amount of chicken,
Yeah. I think the first example of this that was really like undeniable was when you'd go to Subway and you'd get cheese, and they'd like peel off like 1 cheese, 2 cheese. I'm like, dude, that's barely even real cheese. Just put a bunch of it on there.
I thought you were gonna say it was when they decided, no, you're not gonna eat fresh.
Fresh is aspirational, okay? Right. I say that, I still love. I did a story.
If your bread is moldy, all you need to do is
scrape the mold off. I remember I did a story on TDR about the chemical in their tuna that was in yoga mats or whatever. And then I stopped CDR and I went and I got a tuna.
Oh my God,
because it's so good.
John.
Who knew yoga mats were so tasty?
You have to do what our very own Brett Ehrlich does anytime the topic of tuna comes up, which apparently is his favorite sandwich meat. You have to call it tuna fish. You can't just call it tuna. It's tuna fish.
I grew up calling it that. It seems weird to call it that now. But yeah, look, I do think that there are differences between franchises. I think that's fair. And I think you probably can lean on people to give more. But that said, like it feels like gaslighting is what it feels like.
Definitely, and people didn't like what the CEO had to say, as you're about to find out.
Hey, you little stupid little ass. It's me, the CEO of Chipotle. Will you just shut up? We do big portions here. So if God, if you want a little more pico in your burrito, first of all, just give a little to the worker. And if they're still not picking up on it, then you just one of those. It's just shut up. You guys keep complaining and we're just trying to have fun here. We're trying to get people excited, and our guys and our women, they're going to load up your burritos. Not just our guys, but our women too, because we hire women. So stop with that. Seriously, just shut up. If you guys keep doing this, I might not be as rich, and that's really gonna piss me off. So come on into Chipotle. We're a fun family here. We're family and we're having fun, and we're gonna load up your the portions haven't gotten smaller, guys. So stop. Seriously. And if you don't get enough, remember, just give them a little.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah.
So look, they are shrinking their portions. And they're charging you the same amount of money, maybe even charging you more because prices for everything have gone up.
Yeah.
And there's no amount of gaslighting that's gonna convince people who regularly, frequent the Chipotle establishment that things haven't changed. Things have changed. We all see it, we all experience it, and it's not just Chipotle that's doing it.
100%.
Yeah.
It was a great mimicry. I love the guy did the weird shot, put me in front of the line. They have the workers in the background, and I'm sure they're like, oh, I gotta deal with this. And he finishes his thing with his men and women. Should we do another take? Nah, you got it. You obviously record that again. That's so weird.
I know. I love that he was reading a teleprompter that was placed, 6 feet above the camera.
Yeah, and they had spotlights hitting his cheeks in a particular way so he looked like a doll come to life.
Oh my God, it's so good.
That's not on him. It's just, I don't know, maybe they did it because they didn't want him to look natural. I don't know.
Chipotle could figure out hey, maybe we should get a consultant that knows where to place the teleprompter.
Yeah, why is he looking up? Although they do say that people have a tell that they look up and to the left when they're lying. Maybe there's no teleprompter. Maybe that's just his tell.
Well, he was lying, so.